Hey folks, I'm Dennis. Thanks for watching my video. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the doorbell button on your outside door. If your doorbell button is broken, or if the light has quit working, which is what usually happens, and you want to have a lighted doorbell, this is how you replace it. First thing you got to do is get a replacement doorbell button and make sure that it says it's lighted if you want a lighted doorbell button. I've already taken mine out, but I'll show you how to disconnect it and how to put the new one in. Turn the breaker off to your doorbell. Sometimes that's a little bit of a challenge to find, especially if the light in your doorbell button doesn't work, or if your button is broken. Normally, if you've got a light near the door where the doorbell button is, it'll be that breaker, because they usually jump it off the light fixture that's nearest. You can throw that breaker, make sure you got the lights that are nearest the doorbell button, and then try the doorbell to make sure it's not going to ring. If your button's broken, the best thing to do is to have a meter and check the voltage across the terminals on the button to make sure there's no voltage there. The voltage on a button is really low voltage, so it's not going to hurt you, but you don't want to take any chances. So you're going to have two wires that go to your doorbell button. It's going to be black and red, or green and yellow, or any combination thereof. Doesn't really matter. You're going to need generally a Phillips screwdriver, sometimes a slotted, sometimes they'll take both. You can see what's happened with mine is the button itself is broken. Anyway, you're going to disconnect the terminal. That's going to leave a couple of bare wires. Just pull that off, and then make sure your wires are good. If they're in good shape, you may not have to strip them back and redo the ends of the wires, but just check them and make sure that they're okay. Then you take your replacement doorbell button. Generally it'll come with screws. Most of these things are the same on the back. You should have a hole where your wire comes out, and a recess for the back of this button right here, so this whole part will fit in there. Take your terminals and loosen them. The wire is going to go, you want the wire to go between the lug, which is the square part, and the screw head. So that's where you're gonna put the wire right in between those two surfaces, the bottom of the screw head and the lug. It does not matter which wire goes to which terminal. It makes no difference at all. So I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to bend it into a hook, like so. And then I'm going to hook it onto the screw so that tightening of the screw will actually pull the wire into the connection. You don't really want it to like pull it, but you don't want it to force it out. So that's why I hook it in a clockwise direction. And then you just tighten that up good and snug. Same thing with the other side. Bend that into a hook, and then put it on there so that when you turn the screw clockwise, it tightens the wire, or kind of pulls the wire into the connection. If that makes sense. I'm not really saying that right, but I think you probably get the gist of what I'm saying. Okay. And you tuck the wire for the doorbell into the hole. Get the doorbell itself in the hole. Now, in my particular case, I relocated my doorbell because I just put a storm door on, so I'm going to have to drill a couple of holes for the screws. And in that case, I'm going to use a real small bit, like a 1/16 bit. Put the doorbell where I want it. Drill a couple of pilot holes, like so. Take the screws that come with the doorbell. I get them both in before I seated either one of them, just to be safe. Make sure you get them in the pilot holes you drilled. And I'm going to go turn on the power, and I should get a light. And there we go. Now the light's fixed and the doorbell works. Thanks for watching my video, folks. Please give it a thumbs up, like it, share it, subscribe to my channel if you would, and I hope to see you back soon. Thank you and God bless.